G'day, this is Simon from iJump, and I'm here with Ben. Is it Goodale or is it Goodall?
Goodale.
Goodale, it is. From Just One.
Yep.
And what does Just One do?
Just One is a one-to-one direct marketing agency, focusing a lot on CRM, loyalty, online and offline mails, so emails, real traditional touchy-feely mails, and pretty much anything we need to do from a channel point of view to reach customers. So we also do things like TV and stuff.
Great stuff.
But we start off making one-to-one.
Yeah, excellent. Okay. And what are your thoughts on the whole sort of emerging area of social media, blogging, podcasting, etc.?
Well, it's mind-blowingly fast. I mean, I was, for instance, somebody was trying to get a job with me, sent me an invitation to join Facebook. Okay. And I thought, okay, this is interesting. So I signed up, so he's now my friend, even though I didn't give him a job. He, as a result, I then had other people finding me, all sorts of strange people crawling out of the woodwork, who, friends or acquaintances or people I met once or whatever. Wow. Okay. And I, so far, haven't got around to searching for people myself. Right. But I've had about 30 friend requests without having done anything. Wow, okay. So the thing I found about Facebook is, no wonder Microsoft has just bought into it. Yeah. And no wonder it's taken off so much, because it's just exponential, the power of it. And there's clearly, the amount of applications that work with it and so on now. Every day I get another friend is sending me a beer or a slap or a penguin or you name it, or inviting me to play pirates or whatever. So you've got all this stuff going, and you can see how easy it would be for people to get hooked on it. Yeah. So I've kind of avoided doing too much, because I can see I'll have no time to run an agency or whatever. But it is phenomenal, and I know Amazon have already done a hookup with it around book reviews. And I guess it's just part of the way the world's changing through new technology, and people are connecting in a much more personal way, and able to share, and computers now, what we can do about sharing photos and graphics and videos and whatever. It's just changing the way we talk to each other. Yeah. So I don't think marketers have really cracked with Facebook how they can use it, and there aren't a lot of pure advertising routes on it. No. But there will be some quite cunning viral things probably to come, and probably we haven't yet seen what they are. But we saw it with fake blogs. There's a very good case study that PlayStation did in the States on blogging when they launched a game for PlayStation. Okay. It was a game called, I think it was Rise of the Giants, and it was a sequel, and they didn't have very high hopes for it. They didn't have a big budget, so they said, what can we do that's different? And this is now probably 3 years ago, when blogs were just becoming a thing. Okay. So what they did was they planted a whole lot of fake, they created a fake blog of about 5 different fake blogs of people that had been found evidence of giants around the Earth. And they created fake CNN footage of people on a beach. They found like a bit of a giant body that had been uncovered by the waves shifting sand off, and something in a desert, and something at the North Pole. Yeah. And what happened was this just took off, and people were blogging around the world on other blogs about, is it real? Is it true? Is it taking place? And the exponential power of that. And the thing is, you can't do that now. If anyone wanted to do that now, they'd get slayed. Yeah. But 3 years ago, you could. So that idea has happened. Even when they found out what it was, they didn't get really annoyed. No, because it was kind of cool. It's like, wow, it was before people were too savvy about it. It was like, oh, well, fair enough. And actually, gamers loved it. Their sales were astronomically higher than they'd expected. Right. But if you did it now, I think people would go, no, you can't do that. Yes. We've just moved on. Right. Yeah. And so Facebook is probably being set up for stuff like that to happen. Yeah. And there'll be a period where it's okay. The other one I find fascinating is Second Life. Yes. Okay. It's at the moment it feels like it's a medium that is looking for marketers to find a way of using it properly, and nobody's yet cracked what that is. Right. So if you go into Second Life, Renault have got a test track there, and I've seen in fact Renault doing display advertising, poster type advertising for their cars.
Okay.
But obviously all the computer firms are there and so on, but they've created environments in Second Life.
Yeah.
The TV networks, BBC have got a site there and so on, but they're all, you can go there, there's nobody there, so they're not working.
Yeah.
But it feels like nobody's really cracked the viral marketing opportunity at Second Life. So it's kind of a buzz thing, but I think the networking aspect of Second Life, the fact that literally people can have second lives in there, it's very global. I think for global brands it's hugely powerful.
Yeah.
And in a way we're a little bit disadvantaged here in New Zealand that, we're less likely to be working with Gap or DKNY or whatever.
Or at least with the decision makers.
Yeah, with decision makers. So it's hard for them to make I would love to be in New York right now talking to people about Second Life because I can think of so many ways to do it. Maybe I should get them a blower to Gap or and do it. But at the same time, that's because global brands can do really well out of those things.
Yeah.
Whether a New Zealand brand can in the same way, unless they want to open up markets overseas. But an argument that's great for New Zealand if they can and they have that vision because it gives them a global market without necessarily the cost of, at the end of the day, advertising Second Life, you get it right, costs virtually nothing.
Yeah.
It's just actually the strategic time and creativity around how you can bring it to life.
Definitely, yeah.
So
it sounds like you've actually been into Second Life, had a look around.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I recently, made a recommendation to a client about how to use it, and who knows, maybe we will.
Yeah.
But I think it's fascinating. I mean, there's so much life there, and people, and it's got so many sort of functions. But it's a unique idea. I mean, one of the amazing things I find about it is you can be anywhere in the blink of an eye. It's kind of like Star Trek comes alive, and which I think is great. Someone hails you and says, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
And you say, "Oh, not very much." Shopping.
Yeah.
And then they can say, "Okay, we want to do something. Let's go sailing or go-kart racing, something." Click, you're there.
Yeah.
And that's so it's a very and you can be having a conversation with somebody, you're not in the same place.
Yeah.
And it's kind of built its own language so fast. There's a whole social set of norms in Second Life that are built up, and so it is already its own world with its own set of rules, rights and wrongs and morals. Yet it's still so young and fresh.
That's right. Only a couple of years old. Yeah.
And I mean, it is still, it's quite hyped. I mean, if any one time there's only about 30,000 people there, but there's 7 million users. So, you're not talking about something that has huge take up on an ongoing basis. And a lot of people have obviously gone in to have a look, they've had a bit of a play around and gone, it's not for me or whatever, and moved on. But it will probably eventually find, I mean, in a way, it doesn't, what is the point? It doesn't really have a point except it's social, and you can make friends, you can talk to them, have experiences or whatever, but it's not, it's almost like it needs a point, and maybe marketers can find that as well.
A point to it, yeah, introduce some sort of gaming metrics or...
Well, there is, in fact, you mentioned gaming, there are some, and I haven't actually had the time to go and really do this, but there are role-playing type gamers inside Second Life who are reenacting all sorts of things, and in a way it's like a Dungeons and Dragons, in the future, because people are actually, they're already these characters, they can dress up and then they can go and bash each other with swords or whatever they want to do, but it's in a game where everyone's talking, just as Ultima and other games, and now Lord of the Rings online, all these games allow you to interact. And I think it's just it's an interesting challenge for New Zealand marketers, so how they make that work as opposed to globals. But maybe we should be more bright about it. And maybe we can show these guys in New York a thing or two.
Yeah. Well, why not? Yeah.
That's part one of our discussion with Ben Goodale. Tune in next week and hear why Ben doesn't subscribe to blogs, podcasting and public transport, and why it's a small world. Until then, catch you later. Jump In is part of the Blueberry Podcast Network. Find out more at blueberrynoease.com.